You know, this is what I often say, man. And this is your boy Carcino, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm back. Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm glad to be here tonight. You know, there's a lot of people out there just don't get it, but it is what it is. Staying straight up and down, man. Like 6 o'clock. It's not funny, it's actually true. But shots was fired when Terence Howard made this statement. He was letting off bombs. He was letting it be known. Anybody use my image to tear me down in a negative way, I'm warning you right now. Fair use does not protect you. I was like, oh man. So let's take his word for it, right? That he kept his manhood. He did not get his back blown out. He said, no, 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 not me. I don't do that. I don't bend over. But nobody, no man has ever penetrated me. So let's take him for his word that didn't happen. Or did they give the illusion? Because on that set of Empire, and Corey Holcomb said it too, he wants to know. And just ask him the question, how did you survive being a straight man on that show? That's all he was asking. He didn't ask for anything out of the box or out of the ordinary. He just really wanted to know, how did you survive being a straight man on that show? Knowing that a lot of people on that show, people that produced the show, people that were starring on the show, a lot of them was not straight. And you were able to go out there and do your show and not be bothered. That's remarkable, brother. So according to you, everything was hunky dory. Now let me tell you what I heard. It's your boy Carson on here. Let's talk about that. What did I hear? I heard that Terence Howard was handpicked for the role by Lee Daniels. That originally, when they made this, the role was supposed to go to Cuba Gooding Jr., but because of his recent troubles and struggles, the Lucian Lyons role went to Terrence Howard. They wanted him to play the role. Lee Daniels wanted him to do it, and was so happy that he had Terrence Howard to play the role because he said, "Oh, he could play it. I know he can do this role." He was unsure that Cuba could do it, but knew Terrence Howard could. Now, this show was a gateway to others' music careers and other artists that they wanted to promote. And that was the show was supposed to do. It was supposed to highlight artists in the game, new artists, they'll guest appearance on the show. And it was going to be a vehicle for the music industry in a sitcom form. Now, people's sexuality should not be even questioned or brought into fray when it's about the show. So who somebody's sleeping with is their own personal business. But when it's like thrown in the fire and we didn't even ask about the information and they're volunteering. You got Emmanuel Yaba on the show, and this man said he's not black, and that he's himself as not straight, and it's his thing. I don't know. Just very weird. I didn't understand what he was saying. Then you have Juicy Smollett, and then you have the other character, Brashear, who saw some things he wasn't supposed to see, freaked out, had a mental breakdown, started becoming very agitated and angry very quickly. He couldn't, you know, sustain. He couldn't balance himself. He couldn't process everything the way everybody else did. He couldn't go to the lengths that other people could go. It was very interesting. It was very deep, very dark at that time with him. And the other guy, I don't know anything about. Like I don't. He could be, couldn't be, but I'm just saying there was a lot of people that worked on the set that were different. Now I had a lot of people that worked on the show that I know because it was filmed here in Chicago and a lot of extra work. They wanted to hire, especially when they did the prison scene. My buddy, who was the barber, was one of the prisoners on the show, and he saw a lot. And my other friend, who I knew, was a prisoner as well too. He was an extra. They hired him, and they hired Flip because he had all the tattoos. And he said, "Oh yeah, you'll fit right in." And he started cutting people's hair. He's a barber too, so he was drumming up business for his barbershop, but also doing the prison scene where Chris Rock was. If you remember that season when Chris Rock was on the show, and the two big Nigerians that were, rumored to take, well, not rumored, but did that thing to Juicy Smollett. They were there, Bolo and his brother, and there they go, ready to go to war in the prison. And, a lot of people said Bolo was on the fruity side. And, I don't know. I don't really focus on him. I interviewed him, but I kept it about boxing because that's really what I want to talk about. I don't care about the Smollett. I don't want to be part of the story. That was my thing. I turned that over to Angela and said, "You can talk to him. I don't want to, about that. I don't want to do that. Y'all can get into that Juicy Smollett thing. I don't want that on my timeline. I don't want, all of that nonsense to take place." So everybody started to freak out. They wanted to create their own narrative. But I really want to know, how did he survive being a straight man on the set? That's all. Tell us this story because it couldn't have been easy. Now, somewhere down the road, lines were crossed, and Terence Howard, who was once looked at as one of the most prominent actors and character actors in Hollywood, Oprah took a liking to him. All of these things and the avenues were opening up for him. So it looked like it was going to go pretty well for him. Then, out of nowhere, out of the blue, bam, he goes out and starts blaming people for being underpaid on Empire. He never got what he was supposed to get paid. And Lee Daniels made Lee look bad after Lee did that. I think Lee just didn't want anything to do with Terrence anymore. And that led to a bigger problem altogether. So when you start looking at all the factors and putting all the numbers and stuff together, then you'll understand how bigger the picture really is. Because Lee Daniels would always put his arms around Terrence on the set, lead him around parties, BET, award shows. Terrence just smiled and went along with it. It was never this aggression. It was never all of this talk. So when he starts talking about Diddy, just out of the blue, about stuff that's like 10 years old, it's like, is he kidding me? Why is he bringing that up now? It's just really didn't make any sense. Except for it looked like it was planned. Like it was, yeah, we need somebody talking about that in the press that ain't got nothing to do with the trial and just bringing something up. So, he said that's his own story. I think that was the last time I pretty much heard anything from Mr. Howard. Is that video he did on that patio. That's a shame because he's one of our favorite character actors as well. I've seen everything Terrence Howard has pretty much been in. I mean everything. I mean we as black people love Terrence Howard. He had love with us. He was always authentic in his roles that he took. Even in Fight Night. That miniseries on Peacock. And this isn't a fault situation. Like, oh, whose fault is what? Whose fault is this? Whose fault is that? I'm just saying, for a man who claimed he wouldn't let nobody take him, he was being led around by the showrunner and led by the arm. His showrunner's leaning all over him, grabbing him on the leg. You would have thought they were a couple. And then to have such disdain, it was very surprising for me just to see that hit the forefront. They had a rap party for the season and they tried to get people to go. And the cast members got together to do it. And Fox wouldn't even give them, like a rap party. They had to do it themselves and go out in Chicago. The studio did not do it. It was embarrassing. They just they threw their own like rap party and honored the crew. It was real different at one point. Then they changed and then it became, oh, like you're on big priority now. You guys got a hit on your hands. Mm. Well, I'll tell it to you like this. Somebody told Diddy everything he knows. Who better than his buddy, Jerry, and he testified in her bestie. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's enough. No, it's all about the standards. I'm gonna nap it out. So I'm gonna holler at you guys a little later on in the day. I gotta rest the other eyes before I get